Well, good morning, guys. It's Sunday the 6th of May, about 9:30 in the morning. I've just emerged from the house, had to do some domestic stuff. Had a big late night last night in the shed till 2 in the morning. Cranked up the sandblaster and sandblasted a heap of the air conditioning parts, like the pulleys, base plate and whatnot. The reason why I'm doing sandblasting at 2 in the morning is because I just bought a brand new compressor yesterday, and whilst it's not a monster, it's a triple pump. It's got about a 100-litre tank on it, and what I did was I plumbed my old compressor, which has got about a 50-litre tank. I plumbed that into it as well, so I've got about 150 litres of storage. And having a triple pump, it actually keeps up, especially with the sandblaster. Even these little air tools, they drink the air as well. I couldn't run that with that sander with the old compressor, but jeepers, it never runs out with the new one. Yesterday afternoon I spent the bulk of the afternoon setting up the compressor. It's outside. I've made a lockable shed for it. It's quiet. It's nice in here without that horrible compressor noise in the background. Firstly, it doesn't kick on as often, and secondly, it's quiet when it does. So that's really quite nice. Yeah, this base plate for the compressor cleaned up beautifully. There's one pulley. I'll put that down there. There's one adjustable pulley. Which is all cleaned up, and have a second one here. So I don't even know where these things go. I left all the bearings, and I've got to. I don't know how to get that bearing out. Under there, there's no circlip in there, and there's a sealed cover on the top, and you can hear the sand, the grit. This one here. It's got circlips on it. You can take that bearing out, and that's what I intended to do anyway, was just replace all of the bearings in these things. I don't know what that one's for. It's completely seized anyway, but it's got circlips on it, so I can get that bearing out. I'm not sure if this triple pulley is needed, but that came up really well. This sort of stuff I'm going to paint with the 2-pack silver that I've got. It's a wonderful paint, so I'll just paint them up with that. I'll give them a good prime and sand, because it's still got there's little imperfections from where the rust has been on it. So yeah, that'll if I can use it, great. I don't even know if I need 3 belts. I'd assume I do. One for the alternator, which probably. I'm going to get rid of the fan. I'm going to put thermos in it, so I don't know. I'll leave it to my engine guru, Adam, who'll advise me on all of this stuff. So, okay, so these compressors. This one is probably the one I'm going to go with. I'll give you the rundown on this one first. This one I've taken the base plate off, and one of the conrods is snapped. It doesn't want to turn. Plus also one of the orifices for, I guess. I think it's refrigerant. It's snapped off at the housing, so this is absolutely rooted. It's probably only good for parts, and that'll be external body parts. The crank is damaged. The bore will be knackered. So that's shot. This one here, it's got good range of movement in there. I'm no scientist, so I just don't know, but the pistons are obviously moving up and down in there. But there's a backing plate on here, which has come loose, and it's missing the bolts for that backing plate. Now, this bolt's been removed somehow, and yeah, I don't know how to get all that stuff off. This air conditioning stuff's really freaking me out. It's you know, when I first got the car, I bought 2 air conditioning systems. One was a complete system, and one was a sort of a 50% complete system. You know, I guess I was mainly concerned about the box, the heater box, the glove box, the ducting. I might have to go and visit a air conditioning place and talk to them about what we do. Do we use, you know, I'm absolutely certain this compressor will work, but it will probably be tired and we'll need an overhaul. So that, you know, I've seen them on eBay for about $500 for a newie. And they might even say, look, just get rid of this style pump, which means getting rid of all of these brackets and stuff, and they might suggest a sort of a new generation compressor, you know, with different mounting points, different mounting brackets. I don't know. So look, I'm going to have to put my mind at rest. I think I will go down to an air conditioning place and talk about these compressors, the whole setup, you know, timing, and when would they like to have the, you know, parts now, or, you know, when the car's finished, just drive it in with the full setup in, and then let them, you know, do their magic. But anyways, thanks for watching. Look, there's been some really, really beautiful messages come through, and you know, I got to thank you guys just for, like, it's not really support, it's just sort of a mutual encouragement, and it's really, really, it's firstly it's lovely, but it's also helps, you know, keep the motivation up. The messages that have been coming through are absolutely beautiful, you know, and just some really, really cool guys out there with just great ideas. And look, I listen to you and I read them, and if I do miss the odd comment, because there quite a few come through, you know, don't think I'm being ignorant. And the problem is, if I find a comment that I've missed, say a week or so, it's, you know, lots happened in a week and you've probably forgotten that you sent it, but yeah, but thanks for the messages. They're really, really cool. Look, the reason why I do the videos is, firstly, it's fun, but secondly, it's a way of keeping me motivated to actually work on the car, because, you know, coming down here into the shed, it's not the world's greatest environment. You know, whilst you've got this really skanky looking bloody shell sitting right in front of me, you know, I look at that and I think, oh my god, the amount of work that there's in it. I mean, it takes a lot to keep motivated, but by doing the videos, it's like a thirst for footage. So you've actually got to get in and do stuff. You know, you've got to get in and do stuff to gather up enough footage to make a decent video. And so it sort of fires you on a bit, and, you know, I find the whole thing quite fun. You know, you've got to actually do work to get footage, and so it makes the car progress, you know, and it keeps the sort of the momentum going. So anyways, I'll leave you to it. Look, I'm going to have a clean up. It's just fucking terrible in here, and I'll get back to you once I start doing something meaningful. Wow, big day, guys. Far out. Still haven't cleaned up. Been on the sandblaster all day. Doing the hinges. So what I want to do is, I've taken hinges off the XB and the Marquee. Got a full set. I've sandblasted them. I'm going to rebuild them. I don't want, you know, a nicely prepared set of hinges. I don't want to get high fill over the hinges. Primers, oversprays. I just want to keep them spotless, immaculate, and clean. So I'll rebuild this one set, have them in primer, ready to go. I'll do all the body work with the old set of hinges on, because I mean the doors are going to be closed anyway, and they're going to be on the strikers. So I'll set all the doors up, and then when I go to you know, finally paint the car, I'll put these hinges. Well, I might even paint the hinges separately. Anyways, I'll show you what I've done. It doesn't look like much. got a bag of those. I sandblasted them because they had paint all on them. They look amazing. And all the springs, they're going to come back gold. See, my thinking with anything that you send off to the electroplaters, the better condition it goes away, the better it comes back. You know, like that steel is shiny right now. Okay, so that'll go away and hopefully it comes back shiny gold. Who knows? But, you know, I've sent these things away before and they've been, you know, dirty, rusty, and they come back looking shit, really. I mean, like, they could come back looking so much better, and this is how they come back looking so much better. Okay, so it doesn't look like much work, but I put them on the wire wheel after I sandblasted them, and it just sort of gives them a bit of luster back. These are cast, so they're less attractive, but they're still clean as. Not one bit of paint on them, no oil, no grease. So there, my friends, it doesn't look like much, but that's a whole freaking day. That is one whole day. You know, I've listed them. PFT is passenger front top. PRB is passenger rear bottom. So they're all labelled DRT. Oh, g'day guys. I still haven't cleaned up. I've been thinking about this ever since I sort of commented on it on I think the last video, and still not ready to start bodywork, but I'm going to do this tonight because I just need to feel like, you know, I'm having some impact on the actual build. So I'm going to give it a crack, see where we go. If I mess it up, I'm just going to pull it out and do it again. This section here, that's got its own curve, okay? So from that line back, it curves that way and it curves that way. So it curves in two directions, and then it curves around the corner, and it curves another direction there. So there's three sort of angles there. This section, that's got a different curve again, and so that's that like swage line. That gradually just disappears down low around about that point there. So we've got to basically bring the two surfaces together at that point. Under here, that's a different kettle of fish. Yeah, I might. What I might do is I might do around the corner, do that top section, and then I'll just patch in a section into there. That's one little rust repair. That's a second. And that's the third. So, but I'd be inclined to start with this one first, then that, and then that. Notch a little V out of that. Basically what I'm trying to do with this shape, is to actually create that line and that line.
go. I've cut a V in that, sort of giving it the rough shape. Just put 2 tacks on there to hold it. Now I've got to beat that curve into it. I find the ball joint, the round ball joint, is perfect. This section here is sort of round on all sides. So you put it in the centre of the hole and you just tap away. This is getting there. I'm ready to patch her in. Notice I'm not using a grinder on this. I'm using this sanding disc. It's really smooth, gentle, a little bit slow, but the weld's not that high. And I'm only doing just a few dabs at a time because I don't want to heat anything up and buckle it out of shape. This is going really, really well. Okay, so that's part 1 done. See under there I had a little blowout, so I'm going to have to actually, and I see there's a bit of bog in there, so I'm just going to hit that with a MIG and just chase it as far as it wants to go. But look at that curve, that's spot on. Wow, that's just amazing, guys. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. You didn't see me put the bog on, thank Christ. Ah, I'm not very good at bog. Alright, it's interesting how the heat affects things, eh? So I do need to put a second coat. We're a bit low there still, and we're a little high there, but I think I'm going to get that with the high fill. That line, need to just straighten it up a bit. It's all good under there. So anyways, I'm happy. Alright, I'm tired. It's about 10 o'clock. I'm going to go to bed.